Okay, hi everyone. It's Paula Morris here, and I have the gorgeous Sheila Hercules with me. We're in Minneapolis together at the moment, and Sheila's going to share some fantastic tips on our Fresh Start Restart and how to get your business off to an incredible start. Over to you, Sheila.
Well, first of all, I have to say I'm incredibly honored to be here tonight, and I'm not going to pretend that I have an Australian accent. When I was invited to Australia a couple of years ago, I think I tried it and I failed miserably. So I hope you enjoy my Toronto, Ontario, Canadian accent. So I work in the North American market as the new consultant development person, and I do a lot of these welcome calls every week to new consultants. When Paula approached me about her idea that she was going to gift Australian consultants with an opportunity who have been with us for a while to in fact restart and enable all of the Fresh Start program to be earned yet again for the second time, unprecedented. She said, Sheila, could you have a go at this and perhaps share with them what you do to inspire new consultants to in fact embrace the Norwex opportunity and build their confidence and enthusiasm for reaching these goals. And I jumped at the chance, and I'm here to serve you, and I hope I do that well. So I hope you'll hang on with me. And so far, Yvette, you seem to be pretty keen on chatting. How am I doing so far? Do I sound like a nice, trustworthy person? Do I sound okay? I hope so. Okay, so I'm going to take it to you as if you and I were meeting for the very first time. Um, and I want to get to an emotional place about Norwex with you. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you'll see in this PowerPoint, and something I really believe in, sometimes in life we wait until we think we're ready. We wait until we've got the right haircut, the right clothes, or I've lost enough weight. And then we think it'll all come together and we'll learn what we need to learn. And I have found that genuine enthusiasm, something that's very internal, I can't gift that to you, but I can try to inspire it in you. Genuine enthusiasm is stronger than any skill you will need to start or restart your Norwex business. You see, because enthusiasm, if you take the last four letters of the word enthusiasm, they are IASM, and they stand for I am sold myself. And don't you agree with me that in our industry, where we are sharing a very noble purpose, a very strong mission that is going to change the world, one home at a time, one consultant at a time, that people are far more interested to know why we're doing this and why we're involved before they actually figure it out what it is we're doing and how the butter demo really works. I mean, that's what I believe. So let's get started, shall we? So I put up this fun picture that creating safe havens, which is what we do, really all starts with you. I love this picture. Discovering chemical-free clean, one mess at a time. You might like to use that as a tagline. I'm having trouble with the computer controls, so I'm so glad Paul is here. So let's go back. What I love most about this industry, this thing that we are all involved with, this journey we're doing together, is that every day we can reinvent ourselves. And although we can't go back to the very beginning and change how we started, from today forward, we can change how it's going to go. So I want you to pretend with me that today is day one. Brand new, dust yourself off. And let's think about, because our Fresh Start program is 90 days. So I want you to imagine if you made a promise to yourself, not to me, but to yourself, that you know what, Sheila, for the next 90 days, I'm going to really try. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to work at this. I believe it. I have enthusiasm. I may not know everything I need to know, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Because I joined Norwex to make a difference, and I want to do that. I want to make a difference. So I'm going to ask you, imagine for a moment free of all that fear or whatever you think is holding you back, if you gave yourself 90 days to really restart a fabulous opportunity because you believed that there was a fabulous opportunity. What makes me excited is that Paula has made it possible that there is generosity on Norwex's behalf to let you experience some success over again by achieving certain milestones. I call it the suggested new consultant's business plan, but these milestones are suggested activity that have been shown to be helpful in creating momentum and a sustainable consultant business. Wouldn't you agree? And so if we put ourselves back at the beginning and grasp onto this opportunity, knowing that along the way we're going to earn not just an income, we're going to earn additional free products. But I think what's even deeper than that is the personal sense of satisfaction for a job well done, mission accomplished, goal completed. What do you think, Paula?
I love it.
Am I going on the right track?
Yes,
I just want to know if I'm going on the right track. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions because I want to get into knowing. I want you to tap into your heart for a moment. So I'm going to ask you questions. I realize you can't, talk back to me and answer, but these are what I want to call thought starters. I want to put you in a place of remembering something. So I want to ask you, do you remember where you were and what you were doing when you first learned about Norwex? Now, I've done this enough for 3 years. I know typically how the answers go, and I think they're the same around the world, Paula. Some of you would have been at a trade show and vendor event. Some of you would have been at a Facebook party. Some of you might have gotten a personal website from somebody. And some of you might have just discovered because one night you couldn't sleep and you were Googling on the internet on your computer. I get all that. But I also believe that probably 90% of you were sitting on a kitchen chair or a living room couch, sofa, whatever you call it in Australia. And there was this wonderful consultant there, and she was demonstrating Norwex products. And you got invited because you know the host, and you were sitting there at a party. That's what I believe. And I want you to remember that. So you were probably, most of you, if not all of you, were at a party. Now, I happen to refer to them as get-togethers and coffee chats or parties. It doesn't matter what you call it. The purpose is it's a social gathering where we come together really to learn something and have a fun time. All right? Next. Do you remember your first reaction the very first time you saw the Norwex? And it probably was the EnviroCloth. Maybe it was the mop, but I'm going to say it's the EnviroCloth. Do you remember your reaction, your first response? Okay, you know me, I talk about everything, even the elephant in the room. I know one of you on the line with me tonight was skeptical. I get that. You said, "Oh my gosh, it's too expensive." And boy, you certainly changed your mind in a hurry. But I'm going to say 99.9% of you said something like, "Wow, brilliant, legend." Is legend a word you would use? Oh, good. I do so want to be Australian. You would have said something that gave strong affirmation that I'm impressed, and gosh darn it, I'm going to sit here and let myself get inspired, right? I want you to remember right now what you felt, and I want you to pretend you could see everybody else's face in the room and watch their reaction too, going, "Wow, can you do it again? I love it." Okay. And last, this is key. I think many of you were customers first. Hopefully, you bought something at this party because you wanted to, because you were excited and curious about removing chemicals from your home. You'd learned something. It challenged your thinking, the way you currently do things. And so you bought something. And maybe you were one of those party guests that as you were being shown this Norwex, light bulbs went off in your head and you said, "Oh my gosh, my sister Maggie needs to know, my best friend Marty and Jill need to know about this, and gosh, it would be great if I could get my mother turned on to this. You didn't know it, but you had started putting a guest list together in your head, watching it, because you thought of people that should know about Norwex. So some of you might have even hosted, I'm thinking. And then something happened, magical. You see, the experience of being a customer was great, but it wasn't enough. And the experience of being a host was fabulous and generous, but it wasn't enough. You were looking for the experience of being able to participate in creating safe havens and doing good, noble work in the communities in which you lived to make a difference, not only environmentally by changing how the world, your world, thinks about cleaning with chemicals, but you were going to change some of your family's financial situation. And you were going to change some of your skills and some of your habits because you wanted to put some fun into your life. Now, I get that some of you, maybe just one or two of you, never saw the product before, don't even know what hosting is, don't get the party plan industry, and you just said, hey, I can sign up. Sure, sign me up. I get that. That was one of you. So let's just recap what I think is very fundamental to all of us. You were probably at a party. You were probably inspired. You probably started as a customer, maybe moved to a host, but I showed you the 3 different experiences that happen when someone sees Norwex. There's really only 3, isn't there? I want to experience Norwex as a customer. I want to experience Norwex as a customer and a host. And for some, I want to experience real participation because these are products I can get behind, stand behind, and endorse. How am I doing so far? Am I nailing it? And the reason I spend a lot of time at taking you back is because I'm hoping right now that some of you have a very heightened sense of enthusiasm and excitement, and I've just filled up your gas tank a little bit, and I've helped you realize, oh my gosh, that's right, that's what I was feeling, and I'm feeling it right now, because it's the feelings you have right now that can carry you forward. Now, I want to introduce to you, you've probably seen her if you go to conference, but I need to tell you about Debbie Bolton, and I'm going to tell you why. Well, she says that the party, and this was a quote that she used at last year's US conference. She said, the party, it was my dream in action. It was the be all and the end all for the success of Norwex today. Well, it's not just the quote I want to share with you. I want you to know that when Debbie founded Norwex 19 years ago in Canada, and I think our geography in Canada and Australia is similar. We have major big cities, some nice towns, and then a lot of area of nothing. Debbie lived in the middle of Canada, 4 hours north of a major city in a small town that had 4,000 people. 19 years ago, the world wasn't paying attention to chemicals. They sure weren't worried about plastic in the ocean. Debbie had a red cloth, a few other products, no catalog, no computer system, no back office, no host program, no customer specials, nothing fancy. Debbie had her and Gerd, but they had a belief. So, why am I telling you that? Because I want you to lean in on Debbie's belief and her passion right now until you grow your own. Until you develop your own wings to fly. I want Debbie Bolton's passion and her commitment and perseverance. I want that to carry and lift you through the next 90 days. Because confidence doesn't come from knowing, confidence comes from doing. And if you will just trust the process and do the very things that you had wanted to do, that you now have the chance to redo over, I think if you stick with it, you're going to grow those wings and you're going to develop your confidence. And that confidence will then carry you forward for a very successful journey as a Norwex consultant. So, You and I both agree it's a very simple business, isn't it? I mean, look, I'm going to tell you something. I've been in this industry for 35 years. I've sold a variety of things. So please understand, don't take it personal, but I'm going to talk about the silver bracelet that's on my wrist right now. I sold jewelry. But you know something? Not everyone needs jewelry. Not everybody needs the experience or wants the experience of a silver bracelet on their wrist. And they sure as heck don't think at a party of 5 or 6 friends who need the same silver bracelet. And there's not many who I could inspire to join me in selling silver bracelets. And I started thinking about how people afforded my silver bracelets. You see, I couldn't say to them, like I can say to you, that I was selling jewelry. But with Norwex, we're helping people to buy it. There's a big difference between selling something and helping people to have it and to acquire it, to be able to use it. And I say that with confidence because I always tell consultants, go out on a field trip, go to the grocery store, watch what families are putting in that little buggy up and down the aisles. And so I know with confidence that consultants doing a Norwex party aren't encouraging families to spend their money silly or making impulsive purchases for something that is only going to be enjoyed if you wear the bracelet. I'm talking about encouraging families to save money, save time, protect the environment, and create a healthier home because they're going to be shopping for the same stuff anyways because I watch them do it every week. So I'm absolutely convinced that this is a simple business, that all we are doing is sharing Norwex with others. That's it. And right now, I challenge you to have 2 thoughts for me. That if it was me and you sitting eyeball to eyeball in your kitchen, that you would look me in the eyes and say to me, Sheila, come on, you talk a nice talk, girl, but can I really do this? And then you might say, and if, Sheila, I can figure out a way to make this happen, is it going to really be worth it to me? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm sold. The answer is yes. But I want you to discover your own yes in the next coming minutes with me. Because I do believe you can do this, and I absolutely believe that a Norwex opportunity doing parties consistently will give everyone a reliable, predictable income. But it also helps people blossom and develop a lot of other great areas of their life. So I'm calling tonight reignite, re-energize, renew, because you get a restart with your fresh start. Buzzinga! Do you guys get that show down in Australia? Buzzinga! All right. All right. This is the big picture. Don't look too closely. This is your fresh start plan. You've got a side devoted to your product sales and activities, and you've got a side based on your comfortableness around sharing the experience with others of being a Norwex consultant. We call that recruiting. Let's go a little closer. Let's look at your Fresh Start reward sales plan. Paula, when did this kick off? When was day 1 for everybody?
1st of August at 12:05.
And what is today?
The 2nd.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. No, it's the 3rd at home.
It's the 3rd at home. So you have 17 days. Guess what? In Canada and United States, we only give them 15 days. So you already got more than North America. So you've got 17 days in which to submit $500 in sales, and you will receive over $76 in free product. I have to ask Paula a question. What is your average Australian party sale?
We work on the 500.
Okay. And your commission rate is the same as ours? So it's $170 profit per party.
Yes, it's around that. I can't think of the exact figure.
35% of 500?
With the GST. I'm going to take GST out.
Okay.
But that's okay.
No worries. can I just say you make $150 every time, on average, you display Norwex in a social setting, and there are potential new customers, new fans of Norwex, and on average, it's about $500. Now, Paula, when I was in the field, I had a couple of $200 parties. Boo hoo hoo, cry me a river. I also had $1,000 parties and didn't feel that I had earned that income. Took it anyways, got out in the car so they didn't change their mind. I was smart enough to realize that if I had a $200 party, boo hoo, and when I had a $1,000 party, yahoo, but 500 was the average. So I get the highs and lows, but I love 500. So we're talking about one party. So I'm going to suggest that to hit that goal, you relaunch your business by having another launch party. You know what I love most? I love being able to honestly say to people, you know what? I've recommitted my energy and efforts to my Norwex business. And I'm hosting a come back to the table and see what's great at Norwex. Come back to the kitchen and see what's happening with Norwex party. And then I see that within your first 45 days, 2 parties. Now I'm going to tell you something. This is how I would talk to the North Americans, Canadians. $1,000, 2 parties. Who would ever join and sign up for a part-time job? Let's call it a job, because $170 is not money to sneeze at. I mean, that's serious money. So who would sign up for a part-time job and say to the manager, I really want this part-time job, but can you only give me 2 shifts in 45 days? That's a 1 party every 22 days, isn't it? So how do we get 2 parties done? Guess what? We've got to invite people to take one of our available dates and host. We have to be excited about offering up our available dates and committed to partnering with someone, because, as I explained, people already have people in mind who should know about it. I think we just have to invite them to step into the experience of hosting and helping to share Norwex in our community. And let's see if we can't make a difference for a lot of the families in the neighborhood and help them at least be aware that they have choice. Let's see if we can't create some curiosity around chemicals together. And so I guess by day 60, it's safe to say 4 parties. So I put a little thought down there. What are my action steps? Hold a relaunch party. And who do I know? My Frankie list. I'm going to help you with that. And what would I say? I'm going to help you with your power statement. And why is Norwex of interest? That I can't help you with. You have to figure out what solutions Norwex provides for lots of people. And the other question I need to ask you is, and I think you've got the answer. I think you know why. But why do you want to do this? Guess what? It's the same why you signed the paper that said, I want to be a part of this company. Let me into this safe haven community and start changing my life and changing others. I want to make a difference. So I'm going to dig a little into the action steps, but I want to talk about recruiting for a moment. I don't know why, Paula, people get afraid of that R word.
No, because I think being new, your excitement just shines through and everyone wants to be part of it.
Like if I walked in here and said to you, and you saw me, and I was 25 pounds lighter, you would probably ask me, Sheila, tell me your secret. How did you lose that weight? And if I said, well, I just bought this bottle of green magic, you would say, I want that too. You'd want in on the deal. And you would think I was a good friend. Now, you don't need to lose 25 pounds, but people I do. But as a good friend, you would want to know my secret, right? Mm-hmm. But if I was shy about recruiting you to get some green magic yourself, I would tell you I've been doing nothing. Why nothing's different, Paula? What do you mean? I've just been watching what I eat. Meanwhile, I'm keeping my secret hidden. Well, I think when we get excited about the idea that we're using no paper towels, no window cleaner, and I don't know about you, but I don't have to take butter off my windows. My kids don't smear butter on my windows. But the point is, I find it very easy to clean my home. I am constantly bringing people into my bathroom and showing them how I clean a boy's bathroom with 4 boys with a travel Enviro cloth, and then I ask them to smell it. I'm excited to share that. So the recruiting to me is just a verb of signing someone up online. The real thing is about a conversation to meet the needs of someone who seems to remind you of you. So you're at a party and I can see the excited customers and I can already see who thinks they want to host because they're saying to their neighbor, our neighbor Sheila should know about this. So I know they're thinking. And yet I see myself in 1 or 2 people there. They're looking at me. I can see with a sense of admiration. They look a little hopeful. Maybe they look a little lost, like, why couldn't it be me? They ask me questions. They're paying attention. And I think, wow, I know I can meet her needs with the product, maybe with hosting, but if I would just get away from my own fear and stop worrying about me and how I'm feeling, maybe I could change her life tonight. Maybe I could simply invite her to say, I'm pretty new at this gig, don't know everything there is to know, but something about you makes me think you would love to do what I'm doing, that you could probably see yourself with me doing the work of a Norwex consultant, and I'd be honored to help you. That's recruiting. So I want you to go back to the time when someone invited you to join Norwex. How did that make you feel? Did you say something like, and I'm sure you did, oh, are you kidding? Not me. I've never sold anything before. But deep inside, were you a little flattered? Did it make you feel important? Were you taking a little look at notice of yourself and thinking, wow, my hair must look good tonight, or maybe that is a nice top I've got on, or gosh, thank goodness I remembered to brush my teeth before I came over here. My point is, something inside you was delighted. And your new consultants that you invite are just like me and you. They have 2 simple questions. Can I do this? And is it worth it? And I'm going to ask you a third one. Is it important to you to be able to offer a full service Norwex experience? Go back to the beginning. Do you believe, as I do, that at every party in the room, I don't care if it's 2 people, 8 people, 12 or 20, there's only 3 types of people in that room. And I'm not talking about if they're male or female. There's the curious, the concerned, and the committed. The curious make great customers. They don't quite get it yet, but boy, oh boy, when they see the products, they're curious about what they can now do in their own home. The concerned have been involved in thinking about this for a while, and it's probably a topic of conversation, easy for them to share with others, enough to warrant a conversation with others, and would be delighted to help you spread the good news. And the committed are people like you and I. Get to the chase, lady. Tell me how I can be part of what you represent. So I always think of the curious, concerned, and committed as my customers, my hosts, and those that want to do what I do. And that's the experience they came to the party for. And so I'm going to ask you, is it worth it to you to figure out a way to get comfortable about sharing the experience for everyone at a party? Just want to tap into this 422. I've got my own version of how I explain it. If a new consultant came to me privately, followed me into the bathroom at conference and said, Sheila, look, I didn't join just to get my feet wet and dip my toe in the water. I joined to jump in and swim. I want a good consultant business. I want to be a success. Just tell me what the pace is. What's the benchmark? What's the gold standard of a good consultant's business? And I would hold her by the shoulders in a very nice, gentle way, and I'd say, "Hold on, Mary. You won't believe what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you it's about 4 parties a month." And I wait for her expression when she says, "Are you kidding me? I thought you'd tell me 10 or 12." And I'd say, "I wouldn't stop you from doing that, but I can tell you, based on the facts that I know working in the market and doing analytics, a good consultant with a good solid business does about 4 parties a month, about one a week. It's like signing up for a part-time job and saying, hey, boss, give me 4 shifts." And that consistency is what builds her confidence. She uses her enthusiasm to get going, and the consistency builds her confidence. And what happens with that confidence, she soon discovers, I want to get my work done at the party. I don't want to pick up the phone and get bookings. I want to get bookings while I'm at the party. And she recognizes her audience, that there are people there who want to host. So she asks, and she works at filling her party calendar at the party. And when that gets comfortable and she sees that what I'm telling her and what she's experiencing is true, her confidence kicks in to the next part, and she says, and you know what? There's people there just like me, and I'm going to make sure I talk to them and let them know they can do what I do. So I work at having 2 recruiting conversations. I didn't say interviews. I didn't say sign them up. I said being open to sharing the Norwex opportunity. That's 422 in a nutshell. So I want you to think right now, when are you going to restart your business? Maybe you started the day it was launched. But if you're thinking of a launch party, how fast can you get one together? And who are you going to share Norwex with? And you might say to me, Sheila, look, it's not like I'm that new. I've got a few customers. And I'm going to say, I'm a big believer that we know far more people than we think we do. And when we are compelled to share something that we think is of value, it's funny how we can move away from our best friends and talk to acquaintances. And when we have confidence that what we're doing matters, that we're doing work that matters, it's very easy for us to ask for referrals. So your Frankie list, which you're all familiar with, is just a bucket of how you lump people together. The biggest one being when you look at your cell phone or your Facebook or your email. There's tons of people there that never make it to your Christmas card list. You know that ratty little phone book in your kitchen drawer you can never find? Or the piece of paper on the fridge that has everybody's phone number? I want you to really humor yourself and write their names down, because I want you to take it one step further and get intentional. I want you to figure out, why do you think they would find Norwex of value? So that when you're having a conversation, it's genuine. Mary, I'm relaunching my Norwex business. I want to invite you to my Kickstart party. And what that means is I'm going to really focus in on how Norwex delivers great value to families. But at the same time, I want to kick up the notch on chemical awareness, that the time is now that we all can do something. Please come. Your enthusiasm is contagious. It really is how people come to know your honesty and integrity. And that will take you much farther than anything you can imagine. So you've got to get this Frankie list done. And I want to go over the power statement, because the reason it exists, really, if you want to know the honest truth, is people like Paula and your RSMs, we often get asked when we speak, oh, do you have a script? Did you write that down? Can I record you? And if you knew me, well, although I think you know me, I use no scripts, never. It drives most of my colleagues nuts. But you see, when I'm working with new consultants, the only thing I've got going for me is my integrity, my genuine enthusiasm. I don't use a script. I talk from the heart. A lot of times I close my eyes. So I don't have scripts to give. So what I can do is help you create your own. And it's how I started. Because when you take the time to fill in this power statement, we're not so much focusing, if you want to know the truth, on what you're going to say. We're focusing on how you want to make other people feel. And how we want them to feel is that they know you a little bit, like you a little bit, and can trust you. And how do we build that and create those emotions? By sharing a few things. Remember, I said people want to know why we're doing something before they want to know what it is exactly we're doing. So why did you join Norwex? Maybe your answer is, I joined Norwex because after finishing up making my home safer, I realized this was something that other people would want to know. And what I love most about what I'm doing is I'm actually sharing my personal experience along with the way to create a safer haven by teaching people about microfiber and water. And the reason I'm really excited about telling you this is I believe you will be amazed. And in fact, you will thank me afterwards because it will become a game changer for your family's health and lifestyle. Now, I just made that up. And you can make it up. But guess what? Don't expect to have it as slick as me in one go, and I'll tell you why. I have done this probably 1,000 times. So give me some credit for doing it 1,000 times and give yourself some credit for having to do it a few times with a pencil. Does that make sense? And I promise you it works. Do it with a pencil. And if you don't know if it sounds like you, call your sister, your mother, your best friend and say, if I picked up the phone and said this to you over the phone, does it really sound like me? And how did it make you feel? And this is the game changer for confidence. Absolutely. So I'm quickly going to go through what I think is a simple party outline because I think we overcomplicate it, Paula.
Yeah, I think so too sometimes.
I think we get carried away.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. So this is Sheila Hercules' simple style, and it makes so much sense to me. You gotta welcome people. You gotta thank the host and the guests, and you get acquainted using something like your power statement. And of course, you're going to share the Norwex mission, the purpose, because the power statement is when you sort of get acquainted, tell them why you're involved, and they're thinking, well, what is this Norwex? So you share the Norwex mission and purpose. Instant credibility. And then you're going to share and tell about the products. You see, what came in your kit are the best-selling products. They're the ones customers buy first, the ones you probably used first. You know better than anyone in that room how to use them. But it's not about how you're going to use them. It's about how they're going to use them. So you pass them over and let them use them and try them. And so that's the demo part. And it doesn't have to be fabulous with props. I mean, when we clean, we don't put out props. It's around the kitchen table, holding a product, letting someone else take butter, letting someone else. I love telling consultants, take a mirror. Don't even get out of your seat. Let everybody have a go at the mirror with butter. And even do a race. Get 2 mirrors. Don't get dollar store mirrors. I don't believe they're mirrors. I think they're painted glass. Get a decent mirror. Have 2 of them. And you demo on one and pass that around. And then bring a roll of paper towel and an unmarked bottle of window cleaner. And if you want to be really smart, with your roll of paper towel, do your own market research, figure out what a double roll of paper towel costs at the grocery store. Put that roll as part of your demo. And you've got 1 roll of paper towel and you got a sign on it that says, I don't know, I'm going to call it $2. And the only thing you ask people before you start your demo is, you all recognize this household product, paper towel. I did my own research. It's $2 or whatever it is. It's $10. I have one question to ask you, no embarrassment. I'm going to tell you how much I used to use. I used to use X number of rolls, and that was X number of dollars every week or every month. And I'd say, honest answer here. How much paper towel do you buy? And what does it cost you? And I put that paper towel away and I say, tonight I'm going to save you. I'm having a brainwave here. I'm loving this. I'd remember it. And I'd say, tonight, Mary, I'm going to save you $24 right off the bat. Josie, I'm going to save you $48 a month right off the bat. No one will ever tell me my EnviroCloth cost too much money. I will never have to say that. So that was a great demo tip. I expect applause for that one. Okay. And you want to talk about parties. You want to book more parties, so you got to talk about booking with you. You want to make sure you are all inclusive. So you got to talk about, hey, I don't know much about how to really get you started. I just know enough, and trust me, we'll figure this out together. And this is the magic close. Now, I don't know why they call it the 3-question close. Because to me, or what do we call it? The 3-question close? 3-question close? Well, I suppose it's the 3-question close, but I prefer to call that wrap-up time of the party, that 5 minutes before you bring them to the one-on-one kind of area. I prefer to tell consultants, think of that as your opportunity to guide their Norwex experience. It might sound something like this. Well, folks, thank you. This was a great, fun evening, and I want to thank you again, Paula, for having me here. And my goal tonight is to let you have whatever experience you came here for tonight. And it's sure my hope that many of you immediately want the experience of being a customer of Norwex and putting this fabulous product into your home and gradually replacing out all of those bad chemicals. But I also want to be mindful that some of you are probably already have a guest list going in your head with friends and family that need to know about this. And I want to make sure that I can help you with your host experience, doing what Paula did here tonight, bringing us together and sharing something exciting with us all that can change our lives. And lastly, you may not have realized it when you first walked through the door, but maybe tonight something happened. And the experience of doing what I do speaks to your heart. And it looks interesting and fun. And I want to invite you to join me. So when we visit together, I'll ask you, what experiences would you like to go home with tonight as a customer and as a host and as perhaps a new consultant? And that, my friends, is how I would close my party. Paula, how much time do I have? Because I'm a yacker.
10 minutes maximum.
All right.
Sheila.
So the party, very quickly, the party guest wonders. So I don't want you to get hung up about the party. The party guest, we overcomplicate it. Oh, you know what she cares about? Aside from how good the brownies were, did she have a nice time? Well, you answer that. I think it's a great time to get out. Did she learn something? You bet. Do you think our party guests leave wanting more? More products, maybe? Maybe a new experience as a host next time? Or maybe leave with curiosity about being a consultant? That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. I think we hit those every time. But if you're struggling getting bookings, I'm going to go back. I have to take a sip of water. If you're struggling getting bookings, I'm going to speak to your heart right now. So you can keep your ears open, but I'm really talking to your heart. You have to understand, or your heart must believe, that booking parties are wonderful, that you would book a party with yourself. Would you book a party with you? Would you book a party with you? I sure hope the answer is yes. What all happens at a party? They're fun. People get together with friends. Someone in the room, the host, gets free stuff. There's always someone in the crowd who has to be the first one to share everything with all the girls in the neighborhood. A show can be fast. And it's full of great information. There are lots of reasons why people host. You need to believe in all of them. And if you're not having recruiting conversations because you're afraid of the R word, I don't buy it. I don't think there's any fear in using the word recruiting. The fear is that we haven't yet come to terms with how exciting it is to be a Norwex consultant, and how, in fact, that when someone comes to Norwex as a consultant, they do so for a variety of reasons. Most come for the product. Absolutely. They want to buy it personally at a 35% discount, or they want to make sure that everyone knows about the product because they're just that excited about it. Others are just full on inspired by our purpose of creating legacies on a global basis. Others need money and the profit is enticing. Others come for professional development. They don't have any skills. They don't have a resume. They're hoping they can learn some things by being a Norwex consultant, some financial independence, some conversation skills. Some people want personal growth. They want to overcome shyness. They want to get out of their comfort zone and live a little. And some others they just want to have fun. And they think party selling, social, being out with the girls, eating brownies one night a week, having a glass of wine is just living life large. So I want your heart to believe that that's true. And if you believe it's true, all of a sudden you're going to start noticing these people. And they're going to remind you of you. And bookings. Bookings aren't hard to get because the host only really has one concern. Now, I get it. We're not doing a session here on overcoming objections. So I don't want to talk about objections because truthfully, objections to me cover up the number one issue for hosts. And I hope you agree with me. When she says to herself, can I really do it? And she might say, my house isn't big enough, or I don't have time, or I don't know enough people. What she's really telling you, in my humble opinion, is, will people really attend? Now, you know how I can help you with this? Go back to where you were when you first found out about Norwex. You were at a party. Do you remember how you felt when you first discovered the products? What your reaction was? You have first-hand experience to reassure her. Mary, do you know how excited everyone was tonight? You saw when Paula had us over. And you saw everyone's reaction. People will want to come. In fact, you probably have a few top of mind already. And the way I look at putting a party together is, first, let's fill your number of kitchen chairs. Me, you, and how many chairs in your kitchen? 6? Me, you, and 4 more. And we'll go from there. Maybe it'll be standing room only, but let's start with 4. And is it worth it? Well, when's the last time you hosted a party? As a consultant, you can host a party. What were the host benefits like? Just share from your heart. So I'm telling you that bookings, the host wonders, can I do it and is it worth it? I think you know the answer. And you've got material that I want you to review on how to partner with your host and why host coaching is critical. Just remember, a host will never put more effort into the party than you will. And if you think you can book a party and show up 20 days later and not call her, I'm going to tell you the party ain't happening. Because if you didn't call her, she thinks you're a no-show. So if you want that party to hold, you've got to show her your commitment. And then don't forget, people, life happens. Sometimes bad things happen and people have to postpone. And if you've got consistent bookings, you won't sweat it. Because remember, you've got the next party and the next party. It's all good. But if it's the last party on your calendar, I understand the panic. And customer care. And so right now, as you think about your ReSTART program, your customer care list becomes a great opportunity to revisit. Maybe you've not done good customer care. The script, I can tell you, for customer care is the same power statement, but I love honesty. In fact, I would call it like it is. Hi, is this Maggie? Maggie, it's Sheila from Norwex. I have an apology to make for you. I hope you have a moment to hear me out. I recognize when I was doing my parties a little while ago, I failed at customer service. I owe you an apology because that's not how I want to establish my business. And my call today is to ask you for a second chance. And I'd like you to be a guest at my home as I restart my business. So in closing, and I'm sure Paula has some final thoughts, I just want to give you what I think is your action steps. Schedule some launch parties. Hey, why not have 2 of them? Do it for fun. Do it for the goal. Restart. Write out your power statement. Get the word out and invite family and friends to your restart. Build your contact list and don't think you're too good not to use pencil and paper. There's nothing wrong with old-fashioned writing down a list. Host those launch parties. Get the host benefits. It helps you fall in love with the host program again. And keep booking more parties to give your business some fast momentum. So invite people to take your available dates. And I'm telling you to make an assumption. I know what you say about assumption. Make the assumption that most people are eager to share what they've discovered about Norwex with other people. Remember the importance of host coaching. Make time for your customer care connections and keep those fresh start goals in front of you. Give it 90 days. Don't give in, don't give up, but give it everything you've got. So Paula, I want to thank you for the honor of inviting me to speak with everyone tonight.
Oh, Sheila, that was just absolutely fantastic. So much enthusiasm and excitement, and I wanted to restart.
Good, I'll get you a kid. I think I can hook you up with somebody.
So I hope Sheila's been able to share some really vital information for you to get your business restarted. And with that enthusiasm, passion, persistence, and determination, I think they're all very key in this and to make your business a success. Please also know that anyone doing the restart, Fresh Start Restart, can get early bird conference registration. So if you haven't already registered, you can get registration for early bird so that you can come along because you're re-kicking your business off, restarting your business. You need to be at conference because that too is a game changer.
Immerse yourself in that. I call conference the coming together of a safe haven community. Immerse yourself in that sisterhood. I've been to your conferences. They're the funnest conferences anywhere in Norwex. And I think it is a not to miss event.
No, one not to miss. Not to miss. So much goes on, so much excitement. So thank you so much, everyone, for spending the time with us today. Actually, we better just probably have a look and see if there's any questions, Sheila.
Could you imagine if someone said, I never heard you?
Okay. Let's have a look. Yvette was telling us 160. Veronica, you can sign on.
I remember. Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
Is that Veronica Howden I would have met?
Yes, you would have.
Veronica, I follow you. I follow you on Facebook, and I'm excited to see you living life wonderfully, my friend. I remember you.
Yes. So everyone, thanks again so much. And I look forward to seeing you at conference. It's not too far away. And I'm really excited about our conference. So, hang on. We have a question here. Do you have any tips for Facebook parties, Sheila?
Jackie, I'll be honest. I'm not very conversant with Facebook parties. And that's probably because I'm not a big fan. You see, I'm a big believer that our business is belly to belly, eyeball to eyeball. And I know we can do live demos. I think if you have always done your business on Facebook, go back and relaunch your business, even by saying that you're looking for customer testimonials, that you're starting to collect customer and host testimonials. And the way you're going to do that is by talking a lot about products and getting tips from customers, that it will be a participative Facebook where you're hoping the audience has lots to offer.
Great tip, Sheila. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We'll let you go now, and don't forget we're recording this, so you will be able to listen to it again and share it with everyone in your team. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night, or good afternoon, I should say, or good morning in Australia.
Top of the day, mate. Good day, mate.
Okay.
I have to.
Bye, everyone.